What was going through your mind, through the first, 6 or 7 innings or so, Max gets off to the rough start. We always knew that was
Well,
possible.
start with that. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Start with Max walking Grisham, giving up the bomb to Grandal. It's 2-0. Crowd was stunned. You could probably hear a pin drop in that
Now,
stadium.
the good news is it couldn't have been any earlier.
Of course, it was early.
So that was good.
But start with your reaction to that.
Usually on those things, the only thing that bothers me, and I'm sure that bothers Max, is the walk before the home run. Grandal's an all-star caliber catcher. He took a fastball inner half of the plate and hit it out just over the wall. You're down 2-0 in the first. No problem. You got to score to win anyways. That was my mindset. And then Thames hit a little bit of a hanging, not even a hanging breaking ball. It was down pretty good, but he's a low ball hitter. Wasn't the spot Max wanted to throw it. I think he wanted to bounce it. But, you're down quick, 3-0. But that's the way we've been. That's the way this team has been this year. In the past, we've been up 6-0 and 4-0 and that type of thing. So this group is used to grinding from behind and battling from behind and some last second heroics. But I'll tell you what, you saw in that game from both sides, there was the guys on the mound were throwing the ball extremely well. There was everybody was throwing 100.
That's nuts.
It was 95 plus. Everybody that ran out of the bullpen was throwing it was a pitcher's night, and to cobble together that inning against one of the best closers in the game is remarkable. It's a testament to those guys. It was great.
Now,
yeah,
Mike,
2 outs.
Mike, do you chalk that up just to the extra adrenaline? All those guys?
Woodward throws the ball hard. So does Max. So does so do those Hader and Pomerantz and those type of guys. So yeah, they're power pitchers, all of them. It was just remarkable that you saw one after the other power coming at you, and I thought Davey was magnificent the way he handled that baseball game. He managed it perfectly. We just as he scripted it, we scripted it out in the advanced meetings. It went true to form, and that Juan Soto kid is pretty special. But you look at the other guys. Max gives us a yeoman's work in 5 innings, gave it all he's got. Strauss comes in his first relief appearance as a pro. Threw beautifully, gave us a chance to win, and then Hudson closing it out. Let's not forget the Michael Taylor at bat and the Zim at bat to get us rolling, and then the big hit. So it was a beautiful night and a well played baseball game. It was a great game, and 2 good teams, and we finally got a ball to bounce our way, and we won a game.
Joined by Mike Rizzo, President of Baseball Operations, General Manager of the Nationals, as we go in the clubhouse. Mike Rizzo, presented by Burke and Herbert Bank, unexpectedly different. I wanted to go to the Michael Taylor at bat. You mentioned that. So that gets it going on Hader. I heard Davey talk about this after the game, that maybe he had a good at bat previously against Hader. Was that the plan? Like, you guys knew that if you were in that situation that the Brewers are going to turn to Hader for multiple innings. Did you guys know that Taylor had success against him?
Yeah, we figured it was going to be Hader for the 8th and the 9th, and Michael is I think he was 1 for 1 with a walk off from 1 for 1 with a home run and a walk off of Hader in his career. So nice. You notice Zim was on deck with the inning before with nobody on, and then we pulled him back and brought Michael Taylor out there because there was nobody on base for him. But it was Davey managed it great, and the team responded well, and it just played an all around good, clean baseball game, and it was great to see.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in your suite when Soto lined the ball to right field. I mean, I can't imagine what your reaction was there.
Well, you're trying to be as calm and cool and collected as you can, because you never know when the camera may pan over to you. You don't want to be doing something stupid or crazy or something. So
I saw you though. I saw you after the game, and we just had a moment there for a few seconds there as you were walking downstairs in the stairway. You were fired up.
Yes, very, very. Your adrenaline is pumping, your heart is, just pounding out of your chest, and it was when I was, trying to get downstairs to join the fracas, and it was a good trip. It was a good trip down there. You said you had to get up in 2 hours or something like that.
Right. Well, you were pumped up because now
you drive home.
You still got a chance, Mike. You got a chance. I mean, I know the Dodgers beat everybody, but you got 3 big horses that you can match against their 3 horses.
Pressure's on them. You got nothing to lose.
I mean, I know, but you have a chance. The pressure's definitely on them.
The question is, when do you use those horses, Mike?
Yeah, Mike, what do we do in Game 2? Obviously, Corbin goes Thursday. What are we doing in Game 2?
Not sure yet, guys. We need to settle in and put together our battle plan against the Dodgers. And like you said, they're a great team. Great organization run by, people we know and like Stan Kasten and that group of guys. So it's going to be a challenge, but this team hasn't backed off a challenge all season. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to play the Nats right now if I were the Dodgers. So I feel good about it. We've got ourselves an ace going for us in Corbin. See what happens in Game 2. If we have to give the ball to Anibal Sanchez, I couldn't be happier and more comfortable with that. If it's something else, it's to Strauss on short rest. We're see how Strauss feels, and that was big boy baseball from Strauss last night, man. That was good stuff,
yeah.
And it was. I was really happy for him.
His curve was sick.
Now, one thing is in this upcoming series, and I'm sure you can tweak the roster. You had to make a decision before this game, and some people were wondering, Wander Suero had so many appearances for you guys this year. What was the decision in not putting him on the roster for yesterday? And I guess you weren't going to turn certain guys to the bullpen, but could that change for this Dodgers series?
Yes, it could change for the Dodgers series for sure. Dodgers have a lot of potent left-handed bats. Wander's one of our really good right-handed relievers against left-handed hitters. So there's a possibility there. We'll go over the roster today. We've kind of in our minds have kind of completed it, but we'll make it official today. And what went into for the short 1-game series was we wanted that extra pinch runner in case we had a pinch run for Suzuki or Cabrera or something like that. And we felt that in a one game playoff, when you've got all your starters available out of the bullpen, we could go without one reliever and go with that extra runner. And as you saw, both those pinch runners scored. So,
Mike, can you now tell us, I mean, maybe you would have before, but we know that you guys all talked about it was a group decision, I'm sure, but who made the final call to start Max over Strauss?
Yeah, it's like we do it with all of our big baseball decisions, a group decision. Obviously, Davey's got the final say; he makes the lineup. But it was a group decision.
Unanimous.
Unanimous decision for sure, and it was something that we didn't have to think too much about it.
Right.
Just to shift off the game for a second, it was reported this week that there was a very substantial offer to Anthony Rendon. Do you guys see that as a starting point, as a final offer? What is the deal there?
Well, we don't talk about negotiations as they're going on, but we made a clear and concise effort to keep Anthony in the organization for the long term. We'll continue to do so because we want him here, and we think he wants to be here. So we feel good about our chances that he'll be in that, and I hope that he is.
All right, so when do you guys fly to L.A.? What is the schedule for the players? I mean, it's a quick turnaround. You have the champagne. Everybody's going nuts. You got to get your rest, and then all of a sudden you're teeing it up tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. We're glad we're playing tomorrow. You don't need too much of a rest and a layover. We've gone through those 4 days and 5 days layovers, and they're no fun. So we take off this morning. 11 o'clock bus is going to the airport, fly to L.A., work out tonight, tee it up tomorrow, and be ready to go.
So great. Congratulations, man.
Yeah,
Anything
man.
else you wanted to ask?
Well,
Jason?
I just wanted to ask if you knew anything about the umpiring crew for this series, if that makes a difference. Do you guys analyze that? How does that work with scouting?
We do. It's part of our advanced report. We'll scout the umpires, and we've got a full analytical workup on those guys, on each and every guy. So I don't know who it is at this point, but we will know on the plane, and we'll start cobbling together our advanced report on the plane. We'll meet with our advanced scouts in LA. And put together a game plan to see if we can beat the Dodgers.
But they will be a totally different crew than this game, correct?
I would assume so, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Mike, getting back to last night for just a minute, how impressed were you by the crowd at Nats Park? I remember the clinching night, Anthony Rendon made a comment about how he wished there were more people there to see the Nats clinch. Well, they were there last night. That place was, I believe, over capacity.
And nobody left.
With all the standing room only tickets that were sold. That was an impressive turnout last night.
It was an unbelievable turnout. This narrative that the Nats fans don't care, it's not a baseball town, is garbage. The people who are there night in and night out, they're as passionate and rabid of baseball fans as anybody around. And we love the fans, and they supported us since we've gotten here. And I think that's been overblown. I loved the energy in the ballpark yesterday. It was amazing. It was as loud as I've heard it. Even Game 5 against the Cardinals and the Dodgers and the Cubs, it was as good as any. And they were on fire last night, man. And it started early. It seemed like that 8:00 game was never going to start, right. And these fans were into it. From the neighborhood which I live in was crazy at about noon. It started around noon, and it didn't end till I got home last night or this morning.
Mike, I know it was a great moment. Before last night, the Worth homer, probably the biggest moment in Nats history. But I think because that wasn't a walk-off last night, but because you guys advanced because of it, I'm going to put the Soto hit ahead of the Worth home run there in terms of biggest moment in Nats history. Where do you stand on that?
I'm gonna say the one that's coming up is the biggest moment, because we're just getting this thing rolling, and they'll keep hitting them, and we'll keep ranking them. How about that?
All right.
Hey, we want you to keep it going independent of what I'm about to say, but we really want you to keep it going, because if you guys don't, we're going to have to talk about the Redskins.
So keep it going.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Well, we're gonna do our part to give you something to talk about.
Yes,
for sure.
Too political.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, buddy. Really appreciate it. Congrats. Enjoy. Get some rest.
All right, man.
It's Mike Rizzo, President Baseball Ops in the clubhouse. Mike Rizzo, presented by Burke & Herbert Bank. Unexpectedly different. They're feeling confident.
Yeah, well, they should.
They should. And in all the pressure.
House money now.
All the pressure is on them. So.
The Dodgers.
Oh, yeah.